Yo, how you guys doing? Welcome back to my channel Ravanspeaks. And on this episode of That's What They Said, we have somebody who is unfiltered. I love everything that she says. And she is that one person that I always go to for advice. Whether the advice, I use the advice or no, is something she'll tell you. Presenting Amyra Dastur in the house, what's up?
What's up? First of all, I give great advice to you. Okay? I give you fantastic advice. And you have listened to, if you actually listen to my advice more,
life would have been different.
Life would have been different.
Yeah, but how are you doing?
I'm good. So how are you?
So, see the drama that she brings in. But listen, before I actually begin the entire segment game of it, do you remember the first memory of me?
So my first memory of Shravan was when he came to my house for an interview. I think this was during lockdown.
Before.
Or just before lockdown.
Yeah.
And I remember feeding him curry chawal and he was very, very happy about that. Then we started gossiping.
Oh, we were supposed to say that also in the interview. Are we saying that?
Yes, he gossips about everyone. Be very careful. To all the celebrities coming to be interviewed by him, don't tell him anything personal. It reaches me.
Guts and only guts spilled on this interview. But because you said this, I'm going to begin with my first segment, which is called My Childhood Was Like. Complete this statement for me. My childhood was like...
Very unorthodox.
Okay.
Yeah. I've grown up in a full Parsi household. My parents, they're both Parsi. They only spoke Gujarati at home. I have a brother. He's 1 year younger than me. Tyrant. Yeah, I remember while growing up, my parents didn't have much. They started making their money, as the years passed, as they, really started growing together. And I was actually raised also by my sisters who lived on the opposite side of the lift, my bua's daughters. And dad is a doctor, so he was constantly working at that time. He was barely home. So my sisters are the ones who really helped my mother raise both me and my brother. And we were horrible children while growing up, like horrible. We're only 1 year apart. So I think my mother has so many gray hairs because of us. And yeah, we really hassled her. Like, when there's like a proper definition of irritating mama, I think my brother and my face just come there. It was really bad. Yeah, we were horrible.
What is the worst thing you've done? Worst that you remember and that you got scolded?
The scolded, I got beatings. My mother, and that too full desi beatings. There was the belan, there was the rubber chappal, there was, haath mein jaise aata hai, waise. So we got like really beaten and we deserved it properly, because I remember there was one incident, I think, when my brother started stealing all these women's dupattas that were there in the park. So he would just start stealing.
Why?
Because I told him to. And I think he collected some 7-8 dupattas. And of course, the women were so upset at that point, because you don't do that. So my mother didn't know what to say. And we collected all these dupattas and we gave it to her. Like, Mama.
This is okay.
And Bichari has gone back and returned everybody's dupatta and said, sorry. And then they're like, bete ko sambhalo and all of that. So she's really, Bichari has really gotten a lot of galis and advice and, like looks from people because of us.
But that's the worst thing that you've done.
I think it's one of the worst.
Just say it, Amyra. It's on your face.
Once I convinced my brother to glue my bua to the toilet seat. And luckily, Fevicol is not that adhesive for human beings. But yeah, she wasn't happy. She was very, very... She also beat us. So that way we got...
Where did you get these ideas from?
I don't know. I think I like irritating people.
Damaged. Damn it. You were damaged as a child.
Oh, and once I threw... yeah, that was really bad for Chara, my poor brother. So he was sitting for Hindi tuition, okay? And I remember the dining table is like this. The tuition teacher is sitting against the wall and my brother is sitting in front of the tuition teacher. So piche se you can't see anyone or anything coming unless they come in front of you. So I don't know why I got this like lovely kick and I was like, okay, chal, I'm just gonna throw some eggs down and see what happens. And I did that and I didn't realize my bua was walking and one fell straight on her head. And I remember she came up because the watchman said, aapke bacche log ne kiya. And she comes up, she sees my brother in the living room doing tuition. So it occurs to her that shayad he did it. And I remember she pulled him off the chair and she started whacking him, okay, full with that egg on her head. And I have literally hidden in my mother's cupboard because I was like, yaar, abhi to main sach nahi bataungi. Rehne do.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
So,
Classic.
so yeah, my brother took a beating for me here and there, and yeah, we were just very, very bad children.
Yeah. I don't think you needed friends, because you and your brother
I
are
didn't
now.
need enemies. That's the thing. I didn't need any enemies, and bichari, neither did my mother. I think we were her enemy at that time, and she had to love us because we were her children also.
I feel bad for your mom.
I do. Even I do. Even today.
Even today, yeah, for what you become. I mean, why are you so damaged? Is that
I wouldn't call it damaged. I would just say a little crazy, and I think that's the Parsi gene in me.
the
Yeah.
craziness?
I think, yeah.
It just comes out.
It just happens.
Which is that one place where probably your family took you when you all had to celebrate something? Like what that one place is?
So I would say my house in Khandala. That's always been our go-to place. That's where my sisters also bring their children now, and I think that's one of my favorite places because I only have memories of my family when it comes to that house. So we've grown up, we've played in the garden. All our dogs that we rescued, we all raised them there. So yeah.
Okay, what is that one thing that when you were a kid, that probably that one thing your mom made that even today when she makes, it takes you back in time?
Dhansak.
Yeah.
Dhansak. Anytime, any day, my mother's dhansak for me is like I would choose it over any food, from your sushi to your, the best, most amazing Michelin star restaurants. Don't care. If my mama makes dhansak, I am eating that. No, come what may.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when you're on a diet.
Even when I'm on a diet, I don't care. It's mama's
Pakka.
dhansak. Yeah.
Okay. Which was that one festival or rather one occasion that you look forward to every year when you were growing up?
I think Diwali, because that's the time we got the best break. So,
Did you celebrate Diwali though?
no, we would just go to Khandala and I'd play cards with my family. That's what we did.
That's what you did?
And I loved it.
So parents taught you how to play cards also?
Yeah, parents taught us how to play cards also. Like, listen, if I walk into a casino today, I can do poker, blackjack, teen patti, all of them. So I think it's a skill.
What are the other skills that parents have taught us?
Other skills, so my father does all my accounts. So he's actually taught me about the share market. He's taught me about investments and, dheere dheere I'm learning. But yeah, I think for him, it's very important that I can take care of myself.
Perfect. It's time for our second segment, which is called It's All Panache. What is that one thing that you thought you really had to pretend that you eventually learned on the way types?
No, so actually I was a part of a very big film and I remember this film meant a lot to me, and I didn't get to see the film, of course, until it came out, and I kept asking the producers, like, can I please come and see the edit? Can I please come and just, watch it? And kept saying, no, don't worry, everything's great, and you've come out so well and you're our heroine and all of that stuff. And I promoted the film like, oh yeah, this is a huge film and all of that stuff. And I watched the film and I realized my part has been cut so much, and they didn't tell me at all. And I remember this, I was devastated, not even angry, nothing, like devastated. I was like, wow, mujhe itna bada bana diya. And Fir, of course, the director called, and I remember that phone call so well because I had to hold back every ounce of hurt, of pain, of deceit that I felt.
Yeah.
And I just had to be like, he was, so did you like the film? What do you think? How's the response? What are your friends saying? I was like, yes, sir, it's wonderful. Everybody's loved it. Your film is amazing. And I specifically said your film because it wasn't mine. It wasn't mine at all at that point. And yeah, that's how I really had to fake it. And that was the one time, where I was kicking myself, ki yaar, kuch to bolo, kuch, you don't have to be so nice, you don't. But in this industry, you do, because A, I don't have any backing. B, if I honestly, even if it's not my fault, but if I offend somebody, it could turn back on me because I could be labeled as difficult, and there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, that was the hardest thing I had to do at that time. Yeah.
Okay. Talking from pretending on screen or about the industry to just real life pretend. Okay. Like I remember the first time I went to an Asian place, and of course I was going with a group of friends, and I was like, of course I have to use chopsticks.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how to use chopsticks. So that morning I've sat
Yeah.
and I watched like 5 videos of how to hold a chopstick and stuff like this. And that evening I was doing it like I was born to do this. Have you ever
So
done
you had
something?
itna time to
Yeah, I did.
wake up in the morning, learn
I
how
did.
to use
Yeah,
chopsticks and then go out also.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
But have you ever done this? Something like this?
Pretended to know something I
Huh.
didn't know. Yeah, many times. And then of course, because for a role, they'll be like, oh, can you do this? Can you? And you're like, for sure. Like even now, I'm starting a new film and I was told, they're like, can you rollerblade? And I was like, bachpan mein to kiya. So I was like, of course I can rollerblade, whatever. And I quickly called up my manager. I was like, Suno, find a coach and all for roller skating and everything, jo sikha sakta hai. And I was very confident, okay, because I was like, I did it when I was small, so it's fine. I remember I put on those rollerblades again and I was literally like, like almost, I fell like 4 times. I fell straight on my bum 4 times. I'm not even kidding. And I was like, damn, if I don't practice, I'm screwed, because the way he wanted me to rollerblade, he sent me the Tiger Shroff reference, where I think Tiger is rollerblading in the UK or somewhere, and I was just like, main to ye kar sakti hu, no problem, it's so easy. And literally for like 2 weeks right now, I have been on it and on it and on it, because and now I've reached the point where I can kind of rollerblade like Tiger, kind of. But yeah, I still need a few more sessions. But yes, you fake it and you say yes and then you learn.
Yeah. Where did you learn this?
Rollerblading I was learning in town from a proper rollerblading coach.
Where is town again? Sorry.
It's where the real Mumbai is.
Loves and loves. Love it. Nice. And now it's time for the third segment called The Wild Me, powered by lovedepot.com, India's largest sexual pleasure superstore.
Very scared about this one.
Why? Why?
Because my father will be watching these interviews.
It's okay.
Prim and proper.
The pretense will come now.
Now I'll fake it till I fake it.
You cannot fake it in front of me. You know it. Okay. But what we talk about in this segment is everything related to intimacy, sex, relationships, all of that. Okay. What is your take on relationship today, honestly?
I really don't know, because I feel today with social media, it's just changed the whole ball game. Nah? I mean, you've got so many dating apps now. Everyone's just so accessible. For me, it's like, I honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, and then you do a song where you are the bewafa.
But I would rather be the bewafa than be the one who's fooled at this point. Not that I've ever been the bewafa. I wish I was. Okay, once or twice maybe. I was fooled, yeah. I've been fooled once or twice for sure. Like, yeah.
How do you deal with breakups though?
So weirdly, I'm the one who's always broken it off, but like it's because they have done something to sort of make me. I don't think that's necessarily a good thing, because, I think telling someone who you really like or who you really care about that you can't be with them anymore, it is heartbreaking. Today, I just immerse myself in work, or I go out with my friends, or luckily I've earned enough money to go on a trip somewhere. But yeah, the first few days I'm always like that proper typical Rona Dona, like, why did he do this to me? Like that, like full on. But only for the first 2 days. Then I'm just like, then it gets into like anger, like that, I hope he like marja and all of that stuff.
Marja.
Yeah, full on. That's for like another 2 days, and then the next 2 days it's just like I'm gonna party and do everything, and I meet my my party friends, and of course really go out, party, and be like, I'm gonna look so hot in this dress and all of that stuff. So it takes me like about a week, 2 weeks to really deal with my emotions, because there are so many. I feel like, I always tell people, I feel like I have like at least 7-8 different personalities in me, and like dheere dheere you'll see all of them.
7-8 come hai, technically, but haan.
Anyway, luckily I've always been lucky that work has somehow come up and I've managed to distract myself. Yeah, I think the key is distraction.
The key is distraction.
Yeah, otherwise you go back, and you should never go back. Never go back. Ever.
Why? Why should you never go back?
Because I feel if you left that situation once, first of all, I don't believe people will change. I think it's utter crap. Okay, I think it is who you are. And I feel you will give loyalty to that one person who really just clicks with you. I think it's about chemistry. I think it's about a spark. And it's also your willpower and your mind to be like, no, I'm going to be loyal to this girl or to this boy. And I see them as being like my one and only for the rest of my life. But until you find that person, you're always going to be a little bit of a harami. Okay, we all are. So yeah, so for me, I don't see people changing per se. I feel them sort of adapting and compromising, but changing completely, no, I don't believe in that.
Have you compromised in a relationship?
I've adapted, but I don't think I've ever really changed. That's why I'm saying that. But also, I feel like I'm the good one in the relationship, to be honest.
That's a lie.
No, I'm a great girlfriend. I honestly, even I'm shocked. I'm a great girlfriend.
Are you?
I really am.
Okay.
Yeah, but to get me to be your girlfriend is like,
It's
it's a task.
It's a task, guys. I can tell you this. What does the word sex mean to you today?
Today, in this day and age, unfortunately, I feel like it's a very loose word.
Yeah.
People, for me, I attach a lot of, in a way, I wouldn't say love, but I have to be so comfortable and I have to know you for such a long time for me to even let you access that sort of part. Because for me, I really believe in it being an energy exchange. And I'm very careful about who I exchange my energy with. That's very scary to me because you're letting somebody into such a deep part of yourself. And I don't mean that in a dirty way. I mean that genuinely. Like, it's a very profound thing. So it means a lot to me, even today. But I feel, unfortunately, in this day and age, people have kind of taken away the meaning. And it's so easy. So for me, that's a problem. Like,
which is the weirdest place you've made out at?
Weirdest place I've made out. Oh,
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, way back, like this was college time when this boy tried to like kiss me in a rickshaw and I was so irritated. I was like literally, so because I remember the rickshaw stopped at the signal, he came, he kissed me, and then there was somebody who was just like, Madam, like, please, 10 rupees de do. And I was just like, dude.
Awkward.
Yeah, and I'm just like, no, that's not going to happen again.
Yeah.
Like, calm down.
But what do you look for in a relationship today? Let's say if we are supposed to find Mr. Right for you.
Everyone is imperfect. So that's one thing. But I would want someone who's like funny, honestly, more than anything. Like, I need that because I feel like I'm so funny as a person. So I need somebody. I'm hilarious. Anyway, definitely good physique, because even I go to the gym and I'm crazy about my physique. So for me, that shows that you're very motivated to keep yourself, looking good, feeling good. I would prefer somebody who is independent, who has sort of become self-made, and yeah, who can stand my friends.
Stand my friends. Thanks. Thanks, Amyra, thinking so much about her friends.
See?
Loves it, and loves it. Okay, complete this statement for me.
Yeah.
The pleasure is all yours because...
I'm awesome.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Perfect. Yeah. So for that answer, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to give you a hamper. This is your first hamper. This is from lovedepot.com.
Okay.
You want to open it and see it, Amyra?
Do I? I'm a little scared.
Those expressions.
Is this legal?
Yeah.
Very interesting hamper, sir.
You like that?
Very interesting sponsor.
Amyra's face. I love this. Okay, so this is the first hamper.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah. And this is, it's like food
hamper.
hamper.
This doesn't vibrate. That's good.
This is the second hamper. For Amyra Dastur.
Thank you.
But honestly, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being a rock star that you are.
That I am.
There'll always be love for you.
It's like the Desi Korean
this is Desi
collaboration.
Korean. Wow. Desi Korean collaboration. But do you have what you can do that? I'll pick one of these. I like this though. I like this. So I'll probably do this. But do you have final thoughts for what we did today? Honestly?
No, I'm very proud of you. I know this is something you've been working on for a really long time. I'm sorry for cancelling on you twice.
Yeah, 5 times.
No, but really, really proud. And I love to see my friends grow. And I know you guys love to see me grow as well. So
yes.
Keep watching. He's a fantastic host. He can be a little immature and unprofessional, but that's okay. We all have our faults. And just sending lots and lots of love.
Thank you, Amyra Dastur. I couldn't have asked for more. But thank you so much for being the rock star you are, honestly. You know I'm always going to be proud of you. Keep soaring high and let people see Amyra Dastur 2.0 because she's a rock star and you have to wait and watch. But yeah, she's also doing an amazing show that's coming. I'm looking forward to that show. You should see Amyra in it. She's going to be a baller. So thank you so much again. And I'm going to see you guys super soon for the next episode. Till then, this one is a wrap.
Hi, I'm Amyra Dastur. You're watching me on Ravanspeaks. Please like, share and subscribe.